Welcome to the Scale Model Podcast. In this podcast, we aim to entertain, inform, and promote the hobby of scale model kit building with interviews, reviews, and news about the hobby. The podcast is available bi-weekly where your favorite podcasts are found, including iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. You can also get it from our website at scalemodelpodcast.com, where you can find show notes, photo gallery, and so much more. You can also subscribe to get notifications on all our updates, new episodes, and video content. Please support the Scale Model Podcast on Patreon. Patreon supporters enjoy early access to content and exclusive contests. Your Patreon support helps us to offset hosting and other costs to bring the podcast to you. Thank you, nice lady. All right, in 5, 4. Welcome to episode 133 of the Scale Model Podcast, sponsored by Call TV Man, Sean's Custom Model Tools, and Return to Kit Form. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stuart Clark, here from the Great White North of London, Ontario, where we indeed have a lot of snow on the ground, a lot of wind in the air, and it's bloody cold. Also, where it's also almost as bloody cold from the north shore of Lake Erie, which is not frozen over this year. In fact, the ice pack is hardly 1%, apparently. Mr. Jeff Hyland, how are you, sir?
I am good. Thankfully, we managed to get past all my technical limitations tonight, so that's a positive. But yeah, I went down and took some shots of the lake because it did freeze over a little bit on the weekend, and we have a big chunks of ice, like iceberg packs along the shoreline.
Right.
But it'll disappear in the next 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You haven't seen the SS Titanic or HMS?
No, not
okay,
yet.
good. Just make sure you warn them about the ice, eh?
Yeah.
If they come
That's
flying along.
what we do here. Yeah.
That's what you do there. Exactly. And that other voice you hear, of course, is from the western side of Chicagoland, where it's equally cold, a little bit more sloppy, apparently, Mr. Terry Measley.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Yeah,
good
it
evening.
is. It was cold for a while there.
Yep.
Last weekend was quite cold.
Oh, yeah.
But historically not. Yeah, 15 below 0 Fahrenheit is cold. Let's not mince words there. But,
yeah. And the wind chill, etc. But yeah. I see you had the puppy pictures of the dogs, and they were having a ball.
Actually, we started when it was like getting close to 20 below. We started going for a walk with them, just down to the park there, and they were protesting. The young ones were really protesting. The sidewalk. If we could keep them off the sidewalk, it wouldn't be so bad. But
it's salt.
It's just it's just cold. Cement is freaking
cold.
Oh,
right. Yeah, that's right. So they have to. Yeah, I can see that. You'll have to get the little booties and see how many microseconds until they get them off.
A couple of those days just ran around the backyard some and had fun there. And now we're back to more normal. But frozen rain now.
Yep.
Ice everywhere.
We might get it. We're recording this on Monday the 22nd. So
and then the delicious sounding wintry mix.
Oh.
Yeah, wintry mix. I love it.
More and more. I can appreciate why old farts, older farts than us, retire down south. I can certainly starting to see the
but then you got the dengue fever and
I know,
and spiders the size of house plates, dinner plates.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is why I stay where the cold hurts my face. Exactly. Like the old meme. All right. And also as well, don't forget you can support us through Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. We've also got our What We Like page, which I do need to do a little bit more updating.
Yeah.
Life's been busy. Life's been very busy. Okay, some other latest news. We are going to have an interview later with our good friends at IPMS Hamilton and the HeritageCon crew. We'll talk about that shortly. But also some latest news, some changes at IPMS Canada. Namely, there's a new president and some new executives have been brought in. No drama, just some of the old people were getting they decided they wanted a break. So Frank Donati, who of course we had on last week, you all know about that. He's actually started some of the things he said he was going to. There's a new Facebook group called IPMS Canada Workbench. Anyone can join up, and there's been some really cool things there going there. As I look at this, a lot of different workbenches. I see Mr. Kubiak's posted his clean space. Mr.
Yes.
Jeff has posted his with his Zeppelin on the top shelf.
I just felt, when you go to a Facebook page that's entitled the word workbench is in the title, you
Yeah.
really should start off by asking people to show your
Oh, I
workbench.
know. And there's some fabulous workbenches. I love these ideas.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
there's-
great. I always love looking at guys' workbenches. I like looking at workbenches. I like looking at stashes because then I
Yep.
can sort of say, oh, I want it, need it, want it,
And
got
then
it.
you can show it to your wife and say, see, mine's small
Yeah.
in
Oh yeah,
comparison.
that's a given.
Yep.
That's a given. Look, I'm reasonable. These guys are crazy.
And I see, I see. Again, this is Monday night. Frank's posted yet another build that's almost done. I don't know where he finds the time. I swear he clones himself. I swear he does.
Well,
I'm just,
yeah. He didn't say the scale though. Well, it'll vary, so it's probably 135, but
yeah.
who knows?
I don't know, but no, some great postings there. So make sure if you're on Facebook, check that out. There's some really cool, cool stuff already. I know Jeff, you commented on Samir's 1/100th resin Concords.
Yes,
Cool.
yes.
They're kind of
Well,
cool.
I looked like I thought, oh, kindred spirit, because I've
Yeah.
got two 144 Airfix Concords in my build
Yep.
pile, and I thought, oh, well, maybe that's what it is, but no, it's resin. It's different.
You'll have
So
to get we'll have to see if we can find you one.
no. I got a
Definitely.
172nd Concord that I still have to build.
I know. There you go. So, all right. So we're gonna go right into the latest hobby announcements. Lots of stuff. A lot of new 2024. So the catalogs are coming out. And again, I'm gonna do my usual rant. Companies, if you hear me here, we all like you, we all support you, but if you're going to announce the catalog, don't just do it on Facebook. Update your website, please. Okay, that's all I got to say. All right, so let's.
That's not all you got to say.
That's
No.
never all you've got to say.
No, that's not all I got to say. I do have to. I switched browsers recently, gentlemen. So the ad blocker, of course, is causing me grief here. So why don't we start with a salary? Why don't one of you do that while I get this fixed here?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Go
Go
for
ahead.
it, Terry. You start.
Yeah. Well, on the cover, they've got some good stuff. Catches my
Yeah.
eyes and catches Jeff's eyes. Is that Lancia?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. But you scroll down a little bit and look at all the new stuff on here.
Yep.
It just pops up. New molds for some of these trucks. I know there's these Euro trucks are
Huge.
semi tractors are something else.
Yeah.
New parts for your Bugatti, Jeff.
Yeah.
I see
no,
that.
looks-
I see that.
You know, that is just a gorgeous car. It's always
Royal
going to be.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
then let's talk briefly about that Lancia. All new
Yeah.
parts. The
Lancia
Stratos
Stratos.
HFGR4. Yeah.
100% new
New
mold,
molds.
and
It's
this
all-
is just
It's all
fun car.
tires and lights. You know, you gotta love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a perfect machine for dirtying up because rally class, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. We should also point out the 172nd F-35C Lightning II. That's 100% new mold as well.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like
lots
what
of
they've done here.
re-releases.
Like when you go down to it, they've got new parts, new mold,
Mhm.
upgraded edition, and then instead of saying re-release, they say back again.
Back
I like
again.
that.
That's
I like
exactly
back
it.
again.
Yep. There's
Yep.
also 148th Lightning, the F-35C, 148 scale as well, all new molds, and the Machini C200.
Maki.
Sorry,
Maki
I
200
meant the Dave
Sayata.
Goldfinch.
How did you get Martini out of that one?
Machini, I don't know. I'm like Mr. Goldfinch. It's
My God.
those of us who are genius in the thing, right? We occasionally get a little
See,
bit.
I look at this plane, I think of Terry because it kind of reminds me of a bit of a over the top Thunderbolt, like a weird
Oh,
humpback shape.
it's a big plane, 132nd.
Sayata
Yeah.
was Lightning and Folgalore was Thunderbolt, right?
Yeah.
So
there you
yeah,
go.
it's
It's a
Yeah.
neat shaped plane. I like the look of it.
it is, and you can see the lines there. Eventually mated with those DB605 engines for the
Yeah.
Maki 202.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I've got an old super resin, someone like that, back in the late 90s,
Mhm.
Maki 200. The
Well-
color schemes on these,
Oh, yeah.
these
Are always amazing.
all of these especially early war Italian planes, just beautiful.
Yeah.
They got their Reggiane. I built one of those Reggianes a few years ago in 48 scale, and I mated a monogram Focke-Wulf 190A4 BMW engine to it. It fits perfectly.
Really
It
interesting.
would have torqued itself over on its back on takeoff. But just be glad you never had to fight something like that. Reliable
Exactly.
engine in an Italian plane.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
contradiction in terms.
Yeah,
Okay, what else? We go down a lot of armor back again. A Italian assault gun, I guess. The M43 105-25. All new molds there.
It's interesting they've re-released the C-119 air tanker version, like the flying boxcar, but it's got
Yep.
the jet on the top and the center.
Yep.
That's I don't know if any of you ever tried to build the Italeri 119, the flying boxcar, but
no.
it's a great kit. It's a really nice kit, and the molding is fantastic. Detail is great. Complicated as hell, but it's a beautiful kit.
Right. Also one of the things, and a lot
Oh,
of
that
people,
right. Okay, moving on. Yeah, got it.
I got it. I just wanted to point out they're also releasing their own brand of 156 game military vehicles. They've actually, in the past, they've actually been the producers behind Warlord Games. Warlord Games is a tabletop, it's like games, like Warhammer, but it's World War II. And Italeri was actually the one behind doing the work for Warlord Games, but they've decided to come out with their own. So that's why it's an odd scale. 156 scale.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Yeah, so that's the reason there. So again, these are all new. Interesting little scale, slightly small, obviously slightly smaller than 148. They should also show what they're going to hopefully have out in 2025 in that line. And then we've got some D-Day stuff. For D-Day, you've got the Market Garden battle set.
D-Day collection at the very end here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That Greyhound is I don't know, it's tempting, but I'll probably never build it. So
yeah.
Oh, they've got the St. Mary Eglise paratrooper church.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the guy hanging off the church steeple.
That's a pretty neat place. We went there a few years back, and during D-Day celebrations, and the place was packed with reenactors, and it's a pretty cool place, St. Mary Eglise.
Also, they're going to have two more of the complete sets for modeling. So this is the one where you get the kit, some nippers, paint, glue, tweezers, a nice little thing. We've reviewed these before. Looks like they're going to come out with a Spitfire Mark 9 and an F-22, both in 1/72nd scale. So again, good way to get someone into the hobby. We do say, the dedicated line to do with D-Day, a lot of reissues here for stuff that was there. So yeah, a lot of cool things coming from our friends at Italeri. So, and again, I find it's interesting with the gaming stuff. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. There's a lot of the Warlord and that sort of World War II stuff is very popular. We have a guy in our club that does it in 1/72nd. He does that. So, okay, next up is the Monster ICM catalog. I linked here to the modeling news because they've already done some of the work for us. An absolutely monster thing, showing what's on sale, including 2025 plans. So we've got, of course, the CH-54 Tarawa. They've got the brand new, the Tarawa with the Universal Military Pod. A landing mat. They're going to do the M8A1 US landing mat. So, what you land the darn thing on, as well as a combat base. So it looks like it comes with the helicopter, the Daisy Cutter bomb, looks like the landing mat, and probably some figures are going to come with that as well.
That's a fabulous picture they've got there too.
Isn't that great?
The Fubai Combat Base, 1968.
Yeah.
That's a great reference shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cobras, of course, U.S. helicopter pilots, ground personnel, a lot of Russian type aircraft there. If we go down the list, they have a lot. 132nd, they got the HS-123A1. This was the very early World War II German attack aircraft, little biplane. 100% new molds on that one. That'll build up well.
Wait, another new Henschel 123?
Yep.
Huh.
100% new molds.
I always like that plane. It's just a good little rugged
I
biplane.
built an old, I think it's a Larry kit Age is in 48th. Okay,
Yeah.
this is 32nd. Okay,
This is
sorry.
the new 32nd.
32nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Upscaled.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, a lot of other stuff here they've already had for a while. They are going to do a Gloucester Sea Gladiator Mark II with some Royal Navy pilots. Just looking through what else here as we scroll through, looking at the new stuff mostly. Again, they produce so many different kits, so many
They've
different SKUs.
It really is a ton here.
Yeah.
If you could just sit down and spend a good
Oh, I
hour
know.
or so.
Page 15, the JU-88 P1 tank buster. So this is the one with the 75 millimeter cannon. You take a JU-88, stick a 75 millimeter gun sling it under the fuselage, and away you go.
That would
Yeah.
rattle your teeth.
It would certainly do that. Some A26s.
Yeah,
What
some
else
nice.
here? 148th, of course, they are going to do a B-26B, the famous flak bait.
Yeah.
From the 322nd Bombardment Group, as well as a B-26B with pilots and ground personnel. And oh, look, there's the landing mat again in 148th scale. And we've got some aerial target drones.
I'm just continually scrolling through here. If
I know.
My silence doesn't mean I'm not interested. It's just
No,
that's
it's
okay.
a huge amount of stuff.
No,
It is interesting that they're doing all these little drones, these little fire bees and target drones and such.
it is pretty cool.
they're obviously trying to find
Well, some of
find
them went with
different things.
the A26, right?
Mhm.
That would carry those and launch them.
Exactly. Japanese pilots and ground personnel, I see, under 100% new molds. Further down, I'm only on page 24.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm ahead of you.
That's all right. 172nd scale. Again, a lot of the stuff's already been released, so I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
looking for the stuff that's marked new.
I'm just looking for any red flags.
Aircraft
new-
stands, aircraft
Yeah.
model stands, page 29 for all scales. That's nice of them. A lot of military vehicles. Whoops. What's this one? ZIL 131 truck with trailer, Armed Forces of Ukraine. That's a new one. A lot of figures, a lot of figures, a lot of figures.
Mutter.
Mutter.
So
Montgomery staff.
Honestly, we're not even halfway through the scrolling here. I'm just
Yeah,
looking at the bar.
it goes on forever.
This
Yeah.
is insane.
They have
And
a lot
we're
of
just getting into the soft skin
armor.
vehicles.
Yeah.
There's a Kranken Panzerwagen on page 42 that's new, and it's a color photograph of the real thing. That's pretty
Very
impressive.
cool. Very
German
cool.
ambulance with military medical personnel. And
Oh,
it's a
they
half
are-
track, at least a half track. Maybe it's just a full track.
I skipped ahead. I went to page 54, the Burma Jeep. I saw this being mentioned, the Mark One on page 54. Very
Very
unusual looking. You can scroll down there and see that. They've got two of them, one open top and one with the side things.
Oh man, there's just so much here.
Yeah,
Oh, that
page
is a weird
54.
looking thing.
Yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
well,
Yeah.
the Burma Jeep, and then you've got a new Humvee, 100% new molds, a couple of them there. The cargo carrier. We've got a special series, Brave Ukraine, 135th scale, Kozak 2 state border card. Danger Mines looks like a guy either
Trying
planting or
defusing a mine.
defusing one.
Yeah. you can
ZIL of
put
the
that
Armed
one-
Force, ZIL 131 with the driver. A lot of vehicles. Oh, hey, how about this on page 57? Type 320 Cabriel B, German passenger car.
Yeah, that is nice.
Here we go.
On page 58, they got a Model T with a machine gun attached to it.
Well, of course, right? Good for the gangsters, right?
I love it. Yeah.
Then you got some of the special Chernobyl. They already announced those. That's nothing new. Ooh, page 62, 124 scale.
Page
I know.
62.
I'm only
dear
looking for
listeners.
new. There's so much here. I'm only looking for new. A Model A Phantom
Yeah. Standard
soft top
Phaeton.
Yeah, the Phaetons.
and the open top.
Uh,
Let's see here. Anyone else
Fancy
here?
Vatican Swiss Guard. There you go for a figure. 1/16 scale.
Yeah. A Mountie with a dog. Or
Yeah,
The fancy Vatican camouflage uniform.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to worry because if you get too close to them, they'll just stick you with that great bloody pike.
I
And
think
it's
they also
gonna
have
hurt.
submachine guns.
Yeah, these guys aren't.
Yeah.
aren't just for show, believe me. Probably just like the Secret Service. No sense of
Oh,
no
this
sense
is
of humor.
interesting. On page 66, there's a K-Verband midget submarine, Sea Hunt and
Oh
Mulch.
yeah.
Two of them.
I had to scroll back up because apparently they released these last year. There's 3 different Squid Game figures
Yes.
on page 65. Hey,
Oh my God.
obviously they don't need to make the cost to make a mold is obviously not so much
Pretty
to have all
low.
these different
Yeah.
SKUs. Yeah, they don't have to make a ton to get their, sell a bunch to get their money back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Diorama sets. Oh, here we go. Nikon Phantom Airbase, a B-26 counter invader, an O-2A U.S. pilots and ground personnel with the airfield matting, and then of course the Luftwaffe ground personnel and airfield equipment in an HE-111. That's on page 69.
Yeah.
148 scale.
Yep.
That is quite the package there with the A26,
Well, it's nice of them to see
the
that. Yeah.
O2 and some ground crew.
And you got
That's a
some more
lot of- that's a
diorama
lot of work,
sets.
yeah.
Yep. Wehrmacht armored vehicles on page 72. A couple of Panzerwaffen steel cats, a king tiger, and a panther. And then, of course, their acrylic paint line. And then 2025 in process. So it looks like they're going to do a 148th HS-129B1, a 135th scale UH-60A Blackhawk, and a
Where are you? What page?
172nd
So he's at the very end.
at the very end, yeah. And a
75.
CH-54 72nd scale. So,
So
if
these
I
are the
see, I
plans.
see. Yeah.
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 so as you can see, a ton of stuff.
And it is interesting because it wasn't that long. I guess it was the late 90s, maybe early 2010s, that Haskawa that did a Henschel 129 and 48
Yep.
scale?
Yep.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Worlds are changing.
Must find it lacking.
Yep. Okay.
Or they just want to get their kick at the can. Who knows?
Well, good for them.
Yep.
Okay. Heller, the good French model maker. Hello. Yeah, Tabarnak. Okay. So on their Facebook, because again, we would talk
Down
about
to
a
the
website,
Facebook.
but I'm not going to say anything. A couple of things here. They're going to release a couple of these in February, and there'll
I'm
be
so
some
glad
available
that
with starter
manufacturers
kits.
put everything out on Facebook. Aren't you, Stuart? I really love it when they
That's
do that.
enough out of you. All right. A Laffy 135th scale, a Lakota helicopter, a Mirage 4 in 4P in 148 scale.
You're completely forgetting the only one that matters, which is the Citroën Cabriolet.
Well,
That is just a quintessentially French car, almost
know.
quintessentially.
Exactly.
Yes.
The Peugeot. How about the Peugeot
The
205?
Peugeot Turbo Rally. Yeah,
Yeah.
43rd scale.
How about
So
the Delahaye fire truck?
Yep, that looks good too. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that further down. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So again, lots of new stuff coming from Heller, back from the dead, but they're still
Yeah.
around. They were bought
Yeah.
by a German company. I know we talked about it. I don't remember who bought them, but nope, they are releasing stuff. So it's good to see.
Will the Citroën DS have working hydrodynamic
Oh, right. Yes.
hydropneumatic suspension?
Yeah, that would be cool.
The kneeling tires, the kneeling wheels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. That would be very cool. But no, they're producing a lot of stuff, so that's good to see. Okay,
Love
IBG from again their Facebook group. February news. A British armored car, a PZL P-24 fighter in Turkish service, a sawn-off British armored car, a Falkworth 190. This Italian self-propelled gun. I think we talked about that last week. I'm just going through the pictures here. 7 TP Polish tank, 135th scale. The Type 95 Hago tank with a shortwave radio. Hopefully he doesn't fry his brain with the antenna all around him.
That sawn-off British armored car in 1/72nd scale, I suspect, would be tiny.
Oh, I know. I'm not even. Yeah, maybe that'll be next year's Musaru.
I don't know. It sounded like it was more like some kind of a vacuum form.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Some truck
You
drivers.
have to find like 9 of them though, right?
Yeah, I know.
True.
I know. A lot of 3D printed stuff for some of their kits. A lot of Italian Army stuff. PZL P11C engine and closed engine cover. 3D printed set. Yeah, a lot of stuff with that. Yeah, the DAC Mark I British armor car. That was the first one. Now I'm back to the beginning. So yeah, again, good to see. lots of goody things. Okay, some more information. We talked about this either last show. Magic Factory, their latest 2 kits in 1, the Skyfighter, the A4M, I believe. This is going to be a nice looking kit, lots of popularity already. I've heard good
Skyhawk.
things on the forums. Yep, the A4M 148th. We haven't had a good 148th A4M in a dog's age, maybe 2 dogs' ages. So here's some more updates of what they're doing. Yeah, this was designed for the needs of the Marine Corps.
Yes.
But very cool looking kit. You can do the early or late with the hump. And
a lot of detail.
Oh yeah, and you got your own, it comes with the electronics bay and everything, so you won't have to buy a lot of aftermarket. Accurate presentation they're promising of the slats, aileron, speed brakes, horizontal stabilizer, elevator, and rudder. They're supplied as posable separate parts.
What's interesting to me, look at the canopy, the way they've designed the canopy.
Yep.
For open and closed, they've got the clear part, and then there's an entire internal section that you glue together, paint up, I'm assuming, and then you probably glue it on the inside of the clear part with white glue or something.
I've seen that a couple of other kits. I remember, I think it was a Phantom kit. There's been a few kits out there that have had that, but not many exactly. And I think that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's very awesome. Fine details inside the radome and nose section. Yeah, the canopy is awesome. And again, early and late, 2 different versions of the cockpit. Yeah. They also provide 3D. For those who like to use 3D, they'll also provide the blank part of modelers, so you don't have to sand it off. That's nice of them.
That's a very good idea.
So yeah, that'll be good to see. I know there's a lot of people looking forward to that. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a Canadian What If, so it may have been like an old monogram or something. 48 scale Starfighter it's a good size, but this you're going to get 2. So,
Starfighter or Skyhawk?
Skyhawk. I'm sorry. I'm getting old. What can I say?
It's been a rough week already.
It's been a rough week
it's
already.
Monday.
It's Monday. I know. God help
Just
us.
started.
All right. I got this wonderful email from Coterre in New Zealand last week. And of course, now the Modeling News has picked it up. Their next Spitfire, it's not a Spitfire. Everyone's used that joke. Coterre is going to be making a Messerschmitt BF 109 K4 in 132nd for in development, hopefully late 2024, early 2025. Again, not a surprise. I was kind of expecting a Hurricane, but that's okay.
I think they need to have an antagonist, right?
I know. Exactly. If it wasn't that, my money would have been on this next. But that's fine. So very early, you're seeing some CAD renderings, and based on what we've seen, and of course, Terry has a copy of this kit or of the Spitfire. Some just amazing stuff. It's going to be, X-wing that wing, guys. So it looks very good. Only a couple of CAD views so far, but man, does it look nice.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, I would expect that this will be the next, the best molded ME-109 you can ever get.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be surprised if it's not.
Yeah. These guys are just that good.
And the CADs look like early CADs, right? Everything is really clean and crisp, and with the other ones, they did a little distressing, and they did that kind of work with it. So. Should be interesting to see how this shapes up.
Yeah, it looks like a nice looking kit.
Really impressive.
Yep. All right, moving on to Gloria Models. They do a lot of 3D printed stuff. They've got some new 48th and 35th scale crews, props, and jet accessories. So a lot of stuff for the F-35B, nozzles, stuff for the Typhoon, ground crews for the U.S. Marines. Nice P-47 Thunderbolt seats there in
I see that
scale. I just thought I'd point that out to you.
Those would be worth checking out.
Yep. Dassault Raphael exhaust novels. A lot of Marines.
Oh, nice. Those. Yeah. That Revell kit needs them.
Yep. It's a lot of nice things there. So definitely worth. Yeah. They're a sub brand of ET model. So that's what Gloria is. So yeah, I hadn't heard of them.
And like these ground crews, these carrier or maybe not carrier. No, they're not carrier
just ground,
ones. They're
Marine crew. Yeah, just Marine ground
Marine
crews.
Corps ground crews. Yeah.
For your F-35s or whatever. Yeah. Or whatever.
Anything modern. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sets. Although some I think are
48th and 35th.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. And again, they've got some built-in details, including the sagged wheels, the wheel hub covers, lots of stuff for your F-35.
Just amazing. This 3D printing stuff, I think, it might take off.
It might take off. It's that darn newfangled stuff, right?
Yeah, I see potential.
Yeah, I think there's a
Definitely,
future for it.
definitely. Let's look at that Thunderbolt seat, late
Yeah.
version, 3D printed,
Yeah, with
molded to them.
yeah, the seatbelts are molded in.
Looks nice though.
Yep.
Better job than I can do, let me tell you. Then they've got what they got the Tamiya one. Yep.
Sagged wheels, so when you load your Thunderbolt down with fuel and ammo and everything else,
Yep.
those tires will be squeaking down the
There you
runway.
go. I have a feeling Terry's going to be bookmarking that site, Jeff.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, and then from our good friends at Luke Graph, who make all sorts of monster things that are absolutely gorgeous in the thing of Wingnut Wings, they've announced a pre-order of their Curtis Jenny JN4D. This is the premium set. So you can get it for 199 euros.
Look at all the turnbuckles, Jeff. Look at all the turnbuckles.
180 resin turnbuckles. Holy jeez.
That'll keep you out of trouble.
Well, it could create problems.
Yeah, but just
pretty impressive though.
Just absolutely gorgeous. You look at all the parts that come with this thing and just
yeah, you get decal paper with the doped effect. You get wood effect decal paper. Effect.
Strip masks.
It's just strip masks even.
Yeah, just
and
again
some really nice color schemes too. I mean, bright, colorful.
Oh
color
yeah.
Scheme. Look at this, and this is like the classic plane for barnstorming and crazy aerial advertising and wing walking. You could have a lot of fun with this plane.
They're also working on the Hasselblad D2 in 3 scales, 48, 32nd, and 24. The Jenny will also come out with a 148 scale and an Albatross W4, 132nd out now and a 124th coming soon.
Wow. I really do enjoy how Luke Graph breaks their parts down. The resin cast stuff, the cast resin where it makes sense, the 3D printed stuff where it makes sense.
Yep, agreed.
And it looks excellent. And to your Jeff's point, they're not cleaning stuff up here. It doesn't look like it.
No,
nicely done.
How about the Lornier Type 1 or Type L Premium 132nd, 219? It's a float plane as well. How many parts does it have? Hang on.
In what scale?
132nd?
Yeah, it's further down.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see it.
180 turnbuckles on that one. Astro Daimler.
Oh, liner. Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm still waiting for him to do a lining 01. I've not seen a lining 01.
And they got so much here.
They really do. This is nice.
It's like I said, it's like Wingnut Wings.
Yeah. Handsome
BE2 premium set. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff here. The old BE2.
Those de Havilland Dragonfly and repeats are gorgeous.
Oh yeah, they're gorgeous. Especially the blue one. I love the one in 48 scale, the scheme on the box art. That one. Yep. They just do some again, far beyond my skill set, but just bloody gorgeous when you see them on the tables. Ooh, that Sopwith Baby's nice too, the float plane there.
That Dragonfly is appealing.
There you go. Well, don't you have
it's probably fewer than 180 turnbuckles on those.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's why that's appealing. Yeah,
maybe.
Or you can buy as well.
Or if you spend another 20 euros, you can get a set of separate 180 turnbuckles by themselves to practice.
I would have to get them for sure.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what's holding me back on the Felixstowe, amongst other things that are holding me back on the Felixstowe. I need to get the proper number of turnbuckles and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, we can help you with that, I'm sure.
No,
we don't want you to stop. We don't want you to stop with that. You know what I love too? You can buy the engines separately. So like, something like this would be an interesting challenge. Astor Daimler, 220 horsepower engine, 19 euros. And again, just gorgeous looking. Yeah, very cool.
Man, you are fast with the mouse, I'll tell you. I'm still sort of drooling over the a couple of other things.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's all right.
spoked wheels. I like that.
Yep, that's all right.
I'll take those.
Yep,
Turn
there's
models.
all sorts of different things, and it
Yeah,
looks
Luke
like all
Graff
the
does amazing work.
yeah.
It's great subjects too. I really mean they look good. I don't know
Well,
that I've ever seen any at a show.
no, that's the thing. We never know. We'll have to look for that.
I have to
Um,
imagine the shipping costs are a pain in the ass.
yeah,
Oh,
that
pardon
would be
me.
the only thing. Now they do mark here. They do say they're going to do vehicles 135th, 148th. Nothing in there yet, but you never know.
Crowded market though.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they have 4 different 124th scale ones already. The Albatross D3, a couple of D3s, the Handright HD1 or 2, and the Handright float plane 124th scale. That looks nice too. But again, these are the sort of kits. Yeah, they're like, for the sailing ship guys, they buy those wooden models or wingnut wings. These are going to take you a year or two to build. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but again, that's if you want to do that, that's awesome. So anyway, that's from our good friends at Lucograph. Okay, let's go to ScaleMates.
Oh yeah. I'm already there.
Already there, already there. So again, for January 22nd, we have a 172nd scale German half track from Trumpeter.
I'm already going back the 21st. The
Yeah,
Ray
I'm looking back.
Harryhausen Rhedosaurus from the Beast from 20,000 fathoms
very
in
cool.
172nd scale.
Holy
That's
cow.
an injection molded kit from X
Yeah.
Plus.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. Look at
And
that thing.
and it comes with its very own same size lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
That's right.
But it's about to be given a hug.
Oh
About to be
my
less
God.
lit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
less lit. Yeah. Oh, that is nice. That
That's
is
fun.
absolutely gorgeous. Okay, back to the 20th. How about
Love it.
I like these. Some of the what ifs. The ferry, the
Yeah.
GOR 339, Project 75.
That
That
it
looks, isn't that awesome? Doesn't that scream British what if from the 50s?
it kind of looks like a mashup of a TSR2
Yep.
and with a huge extra couple of canards on the front.
Totally.
Interesting. That would be
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. I don't know why they got it. They got 2 different models here. What's the difference?
Oh, 144
Scale.
and
Oh, it's the
172.
scale? Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
172nd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm just saying.
And there's another one coming up on the 19th, a Horton X.
Horton X, 132nd
Surprised you didn't
scale.
mention the Fiat Abarth's rally car
Yeah.
from Tamiya.
Yeah, well, that also.
Oh,
caught
it's
my
their
eye.
racer. It's their 1/10 scale. Oh,
Oh yeah.
is
it's
it
the big one.
motorized?
Yeah, it's an RC. There you go. There you go. All right. That's Terry's wall gone.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
lost
the Horton
Terry
X,
already.
the Project M. Yeah, 132nd scale. That's a nice looking aircraft.
It's a weird looking aircraft. Be
Yeah.
interesting. It's a Horton. It's going to be
It's
interesting.
definitely Horton. Here's a who. Let's see here. A couple of the ones we talked about. Tamiya, Lord Knight. Oh, that's one of their laser mini series.
A Fokker Super Universal in 172nd scale from Cora Models. I think that's kind of interesting. Japanese airliner aircraft, but that Fokker Super Universal was a huge bush plane in northern Canada for years.
That's right. Yep, only a lot of train stuff down on the 18th.
Oh yeah, trains.
Oh, Revenge of the
Creature.
X plus 1/8 scale.
Big broken chains.
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a new tool. That'll be exciting. Our good friends at Colt TV, man, will have that.
Yeah, they'll certainly the creature from the
Okay.
Black Lagoon.
Yeah, there's the Cotero again. We talked about that. The Thomas Hawk. Oops. From Moscato. Mac Cross series. I think someone screwed up the database on that one on the 17th.
From Moscato.
Yeah,
I love
John
it.
will
Mac
correct
Cross.
Oh, that he misspells them on purpose.
He doesn't get sued. Right. You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
I like the Ferrari 488 GT3. That looks attractive.
I like the Necromunda Palanite Enforcer Tauros Venator.
We got to get you into Games Workshop when the boys get old enough. They're going to get into it soon. So.
Yeah. That could be pretty cool. I mean, I could lose them.
I know. I'm just saying.
Oh, look at the Ferrari 512 F1.
Model Hero. Yeah, 2 of them. The 512 and the 158.
Mm-hmm.
Second mortgage.
Yep. An egg plane to the Falcon.
Yep. AFV Club with another egg clam.
You
Egg
gotta love
plane.
them. You gotta love them.
F-16.
Yep. January 15th, the Farman 231. That looks cool.
35th scale pedal car.
I
Jeff.
know. See, there you go. That's
2%.
That's what you need.
Oh,
How many grandchildren do you have again? Yeah, there you go.
That is funny.
I love it.
Who thought of that? That's funny.
That looks absolutely awesome.
I don't even know what Noriyoshi Orai Beauty's number one. All I see is
just
the lower half of a scantily clad.
Yeah, must be
something
Japanese. What else we got?
What is the Hakobu Riku cart and container set on January 13th?
I'm not sure. It's some sort of toy. It's obviously, I'll have to ask Anthony about that.
That's interesting.
Cavico,
112 scale.
It looks like a little robot that tows his little cargo load around.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And that's a nice Japanese Grand Prix Nissan R382, 1969. That's very cool looking car.
124 scale. Yep. Yeah. Let's see what else. Some more Gundams Caliburn from Bandai Spirits. Here we go. Some more Games Workshop. Oh, this is from Legionnaire Astartes. So what this is, these are a smaller scale. So you get 4 in the kit. It's called Epic Scale.
8mm? Are these
8mm scale?
No, yeah, they're really tiny. So instead of having the ones, you know how you've got your Games Workshop figures about this size, and they make armor for them, right?
Yeah.
These are a much smaller scale. So the idea is they used to have a previous game system that involved this, but the idea is, they're a much smaller scale. So in this case, you get 4 in the kit. So you're basically using squads of guys and stuff like that. This is their new license they've come out with, and you see you've got a few there, 8mm various ones there.
Yeah, only 2 Bane blades in a box, though. Of course.
Well, of course, because they're kind of big, right?
They're on the big side.
Yeah, and they're probably worth more points when you play.
Far.
And then how about this? An Italian submarine, 1/350th, the Guglielmo
Marconi.
Here we go. We need to make some pasta. Open the thing. No, wait, we're underwater.
Marconi was the founder of radio, one of the founders of radios.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sterling Model. I saw this last week. They announced a couple of new kits in 1/350th.
Yeah, look at those.
Dart HMS Deptford, HMS Amethyst, and HMAS Yara from Australia.
A sloop.
Yes.
Deptford is a sloop.
HMS
Amethyst. Class sloop.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep, the 1949 version of the Amethyst looks nice.
Like what was this? Even smaller than a Corvette?
Yeah. Must be. Yeah.
Wow.
It could be.
There's no big guns on that thing.
No, little 5-inchers.
No.
All right. Anything else?
Here you got the Curtis Jenny from Luke Graff.
And then we got all of Airfix's releases. I added that to the notes last week because they had their release thing the next
Mach
day.
2 has a 1/72nd scale DC-9 Air Force One. I bet that's a terrible kit. Ooh, sorry.
Well, there goes those sponsorship negotiations.
I've built a few Mach 2s. They are interesting subjects, and they require a fair bit of sanding.
I like this AM Gunner from Bandai Spirits. That looks cool. A little sled with like a lot of guns. Probably goes stupidly fast.
All the new Airfix ones too.
Yeah. No, they had some interesting releases, so I think they will do well across the brand. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it there. Up? Yeah, I think we're more or less caught up. So that's what's new from our good friends at ScaleMates. Now let's talk about, you've heard me mention it before, what's new and what's coming from our new friends at Steve at Cult TV Man. Let's see what exciting things are happening at Cult TV Man and CultTVManShop.com. First of all, Fine Scale Modeler has a spacecraft issue on how to build them better. That issue is available from the store. Features article on lighting the new Star Wars TIE Fighter and painting the Artemis launch vehicle. It's a must-have issue for the sci-fi and model builders. They also have the Shin Ultraman exclusive. Originally, this X Plus Shin Ultraman was only available in Japan, and there was also an exclusive version with extra head parts. That was originally only available from the Shin Shoin Rick website. They have a few of them now available, and they also have the regular kit, so make sure if you want one with the extra head, make sure you pick that up soon. And then we have the Godzilla -1 aircraft. This is a very limited release of the Kaiwashi J7W1 Interceptor, the Sheridan Fighter from Godzilla -1. This is a Hasegawa reissue with special Godzilla -1 packaging and decals, I should say. They were not distributed outside Japan, but they do have a few for you there at the shop. Also, a Moonscape base from Red Planet. It comes with two nameplates, 2001: A Space Odyssey and Space 1999. You can put the Moonbus or your 1/72nd scale Eagle kit on it. Also, some new parts from Lake Monster, including the nacelle end caps for your Enterprise kits, 1/650th. The refit impulse deck of the Constitution class, 1/350th, and a lot of other really cool things. Also from our good friends at Paragraphics, they've got the Perfect Grade Photo Etch Detail Set for 1/72nd, the Chariot 1/24th Photo Etch Detail Set and with decals as well, the Ecto 1A Detail Set, the Big Eagle Photo Etch 1/48 scale, and an absolute ton more. Also some Super 7 reaction figures. Who cannot remember Maximilian, the evil red robot from the Disney classic, The Black Hole? So they have a few other ones available. Make sure you check them out. Awesome, good things as always. And tell them when you go to culttvmanshop.com that the Scale Model Podcast sent you. And we're back again with the interview segment, and we're once again pleased to have a few usual suspects back from our good friends at IPMS Hamilton. There's actually four of them tonight, but I'm going to start off with Mr. Duncan Young. Duncan, how are you tonight?
Not too bad, Stuart, and yourself?
Not too bad. So we're going to talk, of course, about our, well, for us in London, it's our second favorite show. You have to understand that, right? Because we have our own. But in general, our other favorite show, HeritageCon 16 coming up. So, Duncan, you have a few, like I said, of a few shady characters there we all recognize. Good friends of the show, all of them. Why don't you introduce everyone for us?
Sure. So with me tonight is Rob and Jaman. They are our club president, an all-around positive keeper of the positive spirits in the club.
That's right. That's right.
Alan Murrell, who's our HeritageCon show coordinator, and newly appointed keeper of the funds, our new treasurer, Bernie Hack.
So
joining us tonight.
So in other words, Bernie drew the short straw.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You lost the bet, didn't you, Bernie? You lost the bet. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Well, you're working with a great team. I know that. So you'll be fine. So, yes, let's talk HeritageCon. So give us some details, Duncan.
Well, I'll let Robin give us sort of the Coles notes on timing and all the good stuff that's going on. And then, we can go from there.
Yeah.
Robin?
Perfect. I'm just pulling up the information here. So our show is going to be on Sunday, March 24th, 2024. Doors will be opened up at 9 a.m. And we are doing online registration again this year. So you will have to have your registration done by, it is, I believe, March 19th by 11:59 p.m.
Right.
So it gives us a few days to plan ahead and figure out if categories need to split. So that's why we have the closing date set for then. And that's it for the timing. We're going to have very awesome VIP guests come. Daniel from AK, he does the FAQ book, so he'll be doing a little demonstration in the dome.
Yeah, he'll be doing two presentations throughout the day for us and doing a meet and greet in the main hangar.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
And
we should mention, Robin, where is it? Most people know where it is.
Right.
But let's make sure we remind people where it is.
Right. It's such a great place. It's the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum in Hamilton, Mount Hope.
Yep.
Right beside the Hamilton Airport, so easy to find.
Yep, right beside the Hamilton Airport. Look for planes flying around, although at that time of the morning you never know. But yep. Just look for a starfighter on its tail. looking up absolute most awesome venue for a show. We always say that. And then, yeah, so we've got AK back. AK's, they were there a couple of years back and they were really well received,
Yes.
if I
And
recall.
Danny was supposed to come the year we had to cancel due to COVID.
That's
So
right.
he's
So,
now very excited about actually coming to us at long last.
oh,
So
that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, no, that's going to be good to see. You're going back to online registration. I did see that. And you were saying no registrations will be accepted beyond this period or at the door. I think I saw somewhere if someone does bring one in, it'll be display only.
correct, yes.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
Are you planning to do a dedicated display area or is it just as room permits?
As required. Inherently, someone won't pick up the message and will expect, because
Mhm.
last year we did do registration at the door. We had switched
Yep.
from online to back to more just show up, bring your form and fill it out.
Yep.
So there'll be space, but the goal really is to, please register in advance. That's,
Yeah,
even if you're
that's
not interested in competing, all the money that is collected at the door, $3 a model entry, it doesn't go to the club, it goes right back to the museum.
right.
So the more that can be entered, but you just don't want it to be judged, just click that box on your sheet, no big deal. But inevitably we'll have a bit of space, a table or two, for those who do show up day of, aren't registered, no problem, still can put your stuff on the table, it just won't be in the system.
Cool. Now I know you guys recently went to a very nice looking brand new website. That's good to see. I know there's a lot of awesome sponsors. There's also some sponsorships because we got an email. I have to send something back to you guys from the podcast. Do we have any idea how much is the sponsorships going to be for the like individual categories and like best of shows and stuff like that?
Alan, what?
It's
Sorry.
$35 or $40, depends on which category you go for.
Okay.
But we've got 2/3 of the categories already selected, so we're doing quite well for sponsorship already. So
Good. No,
moving
that's
fast.
always good. And it's a great thing to sponsor. I know IPMS London's going to be doing that too. So I know you get a lot of corporate sponsors as well. And we should point out this is something for the museum, right, Alan?
Everything goes to the museum, all the funds. The only funds we collect is a part of the raffle intake. That's really keep the club going. So
Right.
everything else is directly back to the museum.
Yeah, no, and it's like I say, it's if you've never been, and if you haven't, shame on you, but it's well worth a visit, particularly during the show. Home of one of only 2 flying Lancasters in the world. A lot of other projects always going on, some amazing stuff that always happens at the show. Lots of good category for judging. I see some of our guys in our club noted that some of the categories have been nice to expand it and adjust it, particularly some of the sci-fi and Gundam.
Yes.
Yeah, we did do like kind of and we always look at it every year. We did a bit more of an overhaul this year in terms of adding and subtracting categories that maybe aren't as relevant. So for example, we've removed the out of the box category across all genres.
Right.
And that, I think if we all look back to it, you can see it at IPMS Nationals in the US and things of that nature, kits these days. I'm an armor builder. You used to get your base to media kit, and then if you wanted a barrel and then tracks and then that, all that good stuff, that was all aftermarket. Well, now, you buy a Ryfield kit and it's got all the goodies right from the get-go.
Right.
So to try to slim things down, we pulled out some of the categories like that. But then to your point, Stuart, we did, take feedback, from the last couple of years and previously, and the sci-fi, the mecha, the Gundam, real space, right? That they're not the same. And so we've brought in those categories to try to diversify, and so that you don't have, all of the Gundam don't go into one category with all the mecha. They are split based on genre as best we could. And
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes this year. And again, it's an ever evolving process. There'll be feedback that'll come.
Yep.
And we'll tweak again next year as
Well,
as
I know
needed.
from our Gundam people down here in London, they were pleased to see that. So there's been some positive response already. And yeah, no, it's always an absolutely great day out, shall we say. There's always a lineup to get in, which is always good. What else should we say? But there is the license registration on premises.
I do want to remind people, because I
Yes.
remember seeing last year, a lot of people were lining up at the back door only, and there are 2 entrances to the museum, so you can split your. If you see
Yep.
it really crowded at the back, go to the front.
Yep, exactly. And like I say, museum's got a gift shop. They got a great restaurant. The folks that run the restaurant that day, they know they're always in for a busy day, and they just do an absolutely fantastic job. Is there anything else going to be happening that day? I know in the past we've had some cosplayers and stuff like that. Or
Yeah, we'll have the cosplayers again, both the Rebels and the Empire.
Okay.
Plus, we'll also have Fine Scale Modeler again on with us.
Oh, we're inviting those guys again. All right, I suppose.
Also, we have Andy from Andy Hobbies HQ. He's
Oh,
coming.
that'll be
And
nice.
That's Works also coming.
Das works too. Awesome. See,
so-
so that'll be some good things.
And that's being sponsored by Lightspeed Global.
Okay, great. Our good friends who also sponsored the Moosearoo Cup.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's an excellent segue to the Moosearoo Cup, Alan.
Yes, there you go.
So the Moosearoo Cup, yeah, we have to have our pictures in before then. I will be bringing my my work down, where I'm sure it will place very well.
Well, Bernie can be contacted at ipmshamiltontreasure@gmail.com. We have
vodka, gin, rum. What's your poison, Bernie? I'm just,
Depends on what time of the day it is.
Oh, okay. That shouldn't be that difficult then. We'll figure
No,
something out.
usually start with a Guinness, then a beer, and then right into the liquor after that.
Man after my own heart. Excellent, excellent. Much better than that, than that Ian character. I tell you, exactly. So yeah. What else should we say? Anything? Oh, how about Operation Vet Build?
Yeah, they'll
Yep.
be present again
Okay.
as usual, and we'll also have a donation table also for the Ukraine. That'll
Oh,
also
good.
be there.
Good.
And the other thing we just like to mention is the vendor set. We were sold out in 3.5 days. And
I
that's
heard
a
that.
record for us.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. So it still
So-
shows,
And
and
I
it's
have
a
a
whole
massive
mix.
waiting list.
Oh, well, nothing wrong with that. So that's good though. No, like I said, it's pretty well, and I know I'm going to catch flack for this, particularly probably from our friends at IPMS Vancouver. But it is, Canada's premier show.
Thank you.
People call it the unofficial NAS.
you.
Well, it's the location. It's every year you guys pull this off, and you're always getting fantastic numbers. How many do we have through the door? We set a record last year, didn't we?
2,660.
Yes, something
But
like
that was when they closed it down. So I
Yeah,
think
we had the
total was
fire
around about
marshal.
3,000.
Yeah, we had the
the
fire
day.
marshal come in and give us a hard time, and you had a record number of
Yeah.
categories and entries. So, it's
Well, and maybe to speak to that, the museum did revisit how they calculate capacity, and the funny thing is when you move a bunch of aircraft out of a large aircraft hangar, you create space,
yeah, go
and
figure.
you can fill that space with people. And so I think we'll overcome that challenge. I don't think if someone who happens to show up at 10 or 11 o'clock will likely not get turned away this year. We've made some improvements there.
Awesome.
And Alan, I don't know if you can speak to how the parking's being adjusted just to try to
They're
lessen
trying
that
to find
burden.
more parking space around the building, so they're discussing that with the local builder people and the companies to try and get space around it. So there should be a
Awesome.
lot more parking.
Awesome. As long as I get my usual spot when I get there at dark 30. I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's fine. I always get welcomed at the door. Alan's there, and that's all good. No, we're looking forward to it. We're gonna bring all our mics and everything. We're gonna do a ton of interviews and stuff like that. So we're really looking forward to it. So yeah, hopefully Terry can make the trip. We'll see how he does.
I'm hoping to.
Yep.
To.
Yep,
Fingers crossed.
always good. Always good to see our American content, shall we say. Exactly. All right. Is there anything else I think we've missed or we need to talk about at this point, gentlemen?
Not from my side.
I
No,
think
well,
we've
apart from expecting a few more podcasters again as usual.
yes,
Apart
exactly.
yourself.
Well, that's okay. We can certainly offend a few more. Mike and Kentucky Dave really had a good time.
I
So
know.
I think they're hoping if they can, but it'll be good to see all these other people too. We show people in other countries how we have a friendly convention.
That's right.
A lot less drama. Exactly.
Well, that's not. Yeah, that's. We'll stay
I'm
away
just
from that.
I'm just
There we
gonna
go.
hey
That's
hey
object.
I'm not saying where. I just said there's a lot less drama, and but we're seeing some good things down there. Hopefully there will be some
Maybe the
improvements.
only plug is we are going to be looking for active volunteers to help with judging on the day of.
Yes.
There is some talk about a bit of a some lunch and some other things to entice people to
All right.
participate in that. So probably just look out for some communication, and of course with expanded categories in sci-fi, Gundam, and others. People who have an interest in that. Of course, we got to navigate that whole. If
Mhm.
you've got submissions into that category, then maybe you don't judge that category. But we'll be actively recruiting volunteers in the very near future to
Well, we will
to
make
get
sure.
that lined up in
Yeah,
advance.
we always remind our clubs in London that the need for that, and you guys have always been good with our show and vice versa. So I'm sure there'll be quite a few judges, at least from the London area, and we'll do that as well. So, all right, gentlemen, I will let you forego, and we will continue on. Once again, I appreciate it. What's the website if someone wants to find out more information about this?
Bernie, why don't you rhyme that off?
The website, it's the ipmshamilton.ca.
Okay.
And once the site opens up, just click on HeritageCon.
Yep.
And it's got all your information: the guest speaker, location, sponsors, the online entry form. Easy to follow through. Enter as much information as you want, and once you press enter, you will get a responding email confirming your entry. You print it off, and then just bring it to the show.
Perfect.
And again, the deadline is March 19th, 11:59 p.m. to get your entries in for the Sunday show.
There'll be no exceptions, no crying, please. Crying is ugly. Just saying. So that'll be awesome. Oh, and may I also add the new website, gentlemen? Absolutely fantastic looking.
Thank
Oh,
you.
great. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
going to make me won't want to redesign mine or ours here in London. I don't have time for that right now, but no, you guys have done a great job there. So looks really, really good. All right, gentlemen, I will let you go. And thank you again for joining us. We'll probably get you back on at some point, just before the show, and probably during the show as well. I'll try and drag one or two of you down to the seat, so it'll force you to take a break, so you're not running around as much. Every time I see you at the show, you guys don't stop. I'm just saying,
No time.
So I know. Well, we will make you. So, all right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And as you figured out, we went straight to the HeritageCon interview after that. So again, that's going to be exciting. We're looking forward to having them back on the show. So let's just go right into what's on the bench. Jeff, you filled out yours first, so you go ahead.
I don't know why, but I've always been fascinated by early missiles, early missiles. I think when I was a kid, I remember they used to have card sets of a whole bunch of different missiles, and you try to collect them all. And I was always one who tried to collect them all. But one that fascinated me was the Snark. And the Snark is probably the first guided air-breathing guided missile that the U.S. came up with. It was not very successful, but it was a learning experience. And so anyway, Lindbergh Line came out with this kit way back. I'm not even sure how far back it goes, but it's early 60s at the earliest. And it shows it's raised panel lines, raised rivets, and that kind of stuff. But I don't mind any of that stuff. It's just the shape of it. And as I was showing you guys, it's freaking huge. This is a big vehicle. Not even a vehicle really, because it doesn't carry any people, but it carries a load. But it also comes with a launcher, a tractor, that like a small tank tractor, and set of ladders and everything, a whole kind of diorama in a box. So I've been playing with it, and needs a little work just to sort of tidy it up, but it's coming along. I'm going to paint it in the bright red with the white stripes and the sack, the sack sash on it, just because I like color, and it's a colorful looking beast.
Just make sure it's pointing. Just make sure it's pointing downrange.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, it's
cool.
It's pretty cool. It's been a lot of fun. Yes, a fair bit of sanding and putty, but here and there. But nothing that that's what modeling's about, right? You got to do these things. So
you're enjoying it. That's what counts.
Yeah, but as long as you enjoy it.
Yep, I am enjoying it actually.
I've seen him on tables before there. It's a popular subject.
Yeah, it's just that it's an eye catcher, and certainly all the yellow equipment is kind of fun. And I'm playing around with oil weathering and that kind of thing, so that's kind of fun. So I'm enjoying that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, I'm got a little bit of bench time, not as much as I wanted, but work does continue on the YF21. I've put the Musaru Cup to one side. I'll probably next weekend I'm going to finish up the last bit of work on that and get the pictures taken. But the YF21, the Macross, it's a good fit. Hasegawa always, their Macrosses are good. Lots of priming and painting of sub-assemblies. You really find with these Macross, because this one's not as bad, because you can't paint yourself with the swing wings and that into a corner like the VF1s. But you do a lot of, it's good to go through the instructions and kind of test fit and look ahead. I've got the top and bottom main fuselages on. There was some temporarily taping to help some pieces set with exhaust and that, but it's gone together well. But again, you got to kind of plan your way through it because there is some areas you're better off waiting until the end to put them on the final thing. So there's going to be, when I paint this thing, both top and bottom, there's going to be the main kit and then a lot of bits on both top and bottom, like landing gear and stuff like that. I did, however, get my wheel mass cutter out. I hadn't used that in ages. So I did the wheel mass for the landing gear. That worked very well this time. This is the one, kudos to Panda Hobby, who replaced it at last year's HeritageCon. Works much better now. I think it was a broken spring on the original one. This works a lot better now. So I'm really pleased about that. And that's where I am. Terry.
Great. I last show I said I was probably going to get out and start painting the Regal, and then it got really cold and I didn't want to sit out there for that long. It's just an unheated garage.
I don't blame you.
Humidity is not a problem.
Oh yeah. Just freezing things off is.
So yeah, I did get pieces all cleaned up and got polished and all that kind of stuff. So they're just sitting there waiting now. In the meantime, I did dig out the XP57 and oh damn it. The pieces keep falling off here.
That's all right.
It's fine. Because it's just taped together. But yes. I got the interior bits kind of painted up. That doesn't take too long, but there you go. That gives you an idea.
Oh, looking good. I know. I see a lot of people are building those right now. I've seen.
Yeah, they are easy to go. It's just like building a Tamiya kit. I mean, it's just a conversion for the Tamiya kit. So that works out really nicely, and hopefully gets seal the cockpit in and all that kind of stuff here pretty soon.
Yes, I know you sent us a picture of the boxes that arrived, and you were very happy about those too.
Yeah, a couple more boxes from Halberd. So, I might as well just buy them because
may as well. They know
the XP82, which was fascinating playing because they tested a couple different engines in it. One was I think the engine that would eventually become the 3350, the big 3,000 horsepower beast in the Sky Raider.
Yeah.
But so Tom Cleaver has a couple articles out there now. He's got one on the XP82 and the XP 47H with the on Modeling Madness.
Okay.
And he's done a little bit of history as Tom always does. With the four-bladed prop, it was like 14.5-foot four-bladed prop. It only had like 5 inches of ground clearance.
Oh,
which, I mean, the six-bladed prop had a little better, like 9. Even so, they had to 3-point land and take off both of those.
Oh, not good. I suppose if you wanted like a pineapple cut or something.
Yeah, and for reference, this is why the Sky Raider has, the Corsair has the bent wings.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't have to have 9-foot landing gear.
Jesus. Absolutely scary. So if Halberd's listening to us, Terry will be happy to do reviews of your kit. Just let us know.
Oh, I'm just not a fast builder. Send them to Tom. They'll get built and posted fast.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do for you.
But I've been thinking about color schemes on these because I think I'm just going to do them like operational planes. Okay. Might as well.
Yeah, why not?
Instead of the experimental ones. So digging through decals and then trying to figure out ideas because they look really cool.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. All right. what are we reading? Jeff, what are you reading these days?
I'm still trying to finish The Wager, the book
Okay.
about the shipwreck. I'm at the shipwreck stage, and they're all having terrible difficulties. And one small group of malcontents is constantly getting drunk on whatever alcohol they can find.
As does happen.
Yeah, well, the stuff washes ashore from the wreck, so
Yep.
they get
Why
hammered
not?
on it.
Why not?
But so it's a good book. But what I've really been stuck on is I unfortunately picked up on sale around Christmas the Assassin's Creed Valhalla game, and they are huge. These games, they are massive. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm trying to basically invade England and take over England in the 4th century or whatever year it is, and it's amazing. It really, you kind of get feeling that you're in that, and it kind of, the landscape looks right. And then at some point, I can't figure out how, but I get into a battle in Asgard. I don't know how that happened.
It just kind of happened, huh?
Well, it's what happens when you try and invade England in the 4th century.
Well, look, the game has this thing where you can wander around and eat mushrooms.
Oh,
no.
okay, that explains it. All right.
Some of them aren't necessarily good for you.
All righty.
And anyway, and it takes you to Greenland and Iceland and to North America even, and I haven't even got there yet.
It makes you think you're there, but
Wow.
you're actually just having a punch up with the landlady at the pub.
Yeah, exactly. But it's
I'm
just
just
that
saying.
these games, ever since they started to really go into the full open world stuff,
Oh, I know.
they've been a lot of fun just from a history standpoint. I mean,
Yeah.
they really do try to do a good job of it, and
Yeah.
And good for
I'm
them.
s-
I've really enjoyed it.
I'm still playing Skyrim from time to time. I haven't
Yeah.
finished that in Guild Wars 2, so exactly. Very
Yeah.
good. All right.
Skyrim is hard to beat too. So
Oh, I know
there
it,
you
but
go.
it's good fun. Okay, I'm still almost done Coming of Age in the Milky Way by Timothy Ferris. Really enjoying that one. And then Shane Parrish's latest, Clear Thinking, Turning Ordinary Moments into Extraordinary Results. I've got to come up with a fiction book next. I usually have one on the go, and I haven't got one right now. And I've got thousands I can choose from, both electronic and stuff to read. So we'll see what I come up with. How about you, Terry?
Still reading through the second Elric book. I think I'm
Mhm.
getting close to the end. I haven't actually checked yet. I read the first 2 Preacher graphic novels. The third one is not available for free with my subscription, so I moved on to a different one.
Okay.
The 2013, the most recent, I think, series of Constantine.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to read a nonfiction book next, but I'm not sure whether to go toward more military history or sciencey stuff. So I'm still deciding that. I got
Right.
a little bit of time.
There's so much good stuff. I know.
There
Exactly.
really is.
There really is. I know. I look at what I've got to read in my read piles. I'm just, exactly. We are in a blessed age. Okay. Also a blessed kind of guy, our good friend at Sean's Custom Model Tools. Let's talk to him. Now we're going to talk a bit about Sean's Custom Model Tools, one of our other sponsors of the Scale Model podcast. Some very cool things, both 3D printed and the Goodman Super Sanding Blocks. Let's start with the Microset and Microsole decal set bottle stand. This is purposely designed for the microscale set and sole. Most modelers over the years, they've tipped these bottles over. So this is a very handy thing. At $14.95, you can put them both together. They're printed in blue and red for easy identification. Comes with a black base, and they actually have little magnets on it, so it helps keeps them in place. Definitely a good deal. I use mine all the time, and I can well recommend them. Let's talk a bit about those Goodman Model Super Sanding Blocks, namely the Value Pack Combo for $28.99. You get the 80 grit, 180 grit, 220, 320, 400, and 600. Just an amazing set, just what you need. And you can also, if you want, you can also get a super sanding block stand for it, which also really makes life a little bit easier, helps things keep it organized. The other thing too is they have the awesome model tape dispenser for your various tapes. It's basically a 3D printed thing. You put spools of your tapes. It's got a little razor blade. to help cut it, and it's really, really good design. So yeah, works out really well, and yours for $19.95. So check out these and other amazing deals at Sean'sCustomModelTools.com, and also on Facebook, and tell them that the Scale Model Podcast sent you. Okay, things we've seen. That darn Lufram 72. He just keeps coming up with stuff. It drives me nuts. But he's got some cool things. So he's actually posted his layered ink patina technique. So this is what he used on his F14. And he probably, and it's gorgeous to weather it and how to use inks in that. So he's got the full thing there on how to do it. And I want to try this sometime. It just looks amazing. Just absolutely, because I remember seeing his F14 and his Valkyrie, and the way he does the weathering on these is just amazing. He's got a full tutorial there. Very, it's kind of the thing you can get from some of his books, so buy his books. And he talks about how he weathers it, and it's a lot of pictures. So it's just quite good. I'm very jealous once again, but he knows that already. I'm jealous of him, but that's okay. I don't mind.
You got to start. I know. You just have to start somewhere.
I know, and he is a craftsman, a true craftsman. So that works out well. Okay, who's got the next one here?
I just saw that the B26 kits from ICM should start arriving in March.
Okay, what about
so they've all got pre-orders, and then
right.
Jenny and I watched. It showed up on our list because we watched like Norseman, which is a Viking comedy. It's hilarious. On Netflix is a series called 1670. It's a Polish production in 1670. It's mockumentary style.
In 1670,
yes,
of course,
and it's hilarious. It's like it's really good, and it's another one of these like Norseman. It was filmed obviously in a reconstructed village, right? So you get all the people in the background doing stuff, and they're the people that work at this reconstructed village. They have no lines or anything else. Then you've got the central family, and the dad is both brilliant and a moron at the same time. So, and petty, and it's well worth watching. It's only 8 episodes. We watched it in English. It was pretty good. We'll probably watch like the last episode or something like that in Polish just to see how it goes.
Very cool. What about
That's
this?
Great.
What about this Slave One?
Yeah, well, I was just flipping through, doing my usual doom scrolling on Facebook, and I came across this in Starship Modeler Facebook page. This fellow was doing CAD renderings of the ship from Guardians of the Galaxy, mostly showing the interior, and it was stunningly good. And he was basically saying he's working on doing the whole ship as a kit, but he's just plowing through the CAD work right now. But he said, take a look at my webpage and you'll see the Slave One, which I did, and it's available as a kit now. So I went to it. It's called Staples and Vine, and stunning job. I mean, it's an amazing job. And I think that if he gets this, the Guardian ship, I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. I should right now.
Like Murano or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. But anyway, if he does on that the quality of work that he did on the Slave One, it's top notch. Definitely worth looking at. So that's what I pulled it up, and I wasn't quite sure how to hook a link up, but I think I got it working.
Yeah, you got it working. You're good. No, you're good. Yeah. I just remembered one other one when I saw that link. I know I threw it on our Scale Model podcast page, but of course, all of you subscribe to Adam Savage's channel, Tested. Most of us in sci-fi do, but he had a video a couple of weeks ago where he had a tour of his redesign workshop. He's been doing a couple. But what was interesting is he was talking about the last building or the last 2 buildings of ILM when they were in San Francisco by the bridge, were they were closing them, and they had all these various storage units and stuff like that had all the old greaves and parts, like different lengths of plastic struct and stuff like that. And this is history, because a lot of the stuff you see was built from this stuff. So he goes through behind the scenes, and in the end, he managed to get them all. So that's what precipitated the redesign of his shop. So I put the link for the first one. It's absolutely delightful. Get a drink, sit down, enjoy it. You'll love it. It's absolutely, you know, and he talks about, he's got a new one out too, but how he's, you know, made some extra space. But just absolutely amazing. Well worth looking at. Bit of a history lesson too, from some of the, you know, original guys who worked at ILM and stuff like that. Like he takes a part that looks like a dome, and he says, "Yeah, this was on this ship, this, you know, it was the roof for something else," and you know, yeah, exactly. So definitely, I've added that to the show notes now, so that's definitely worth a look as well. All right, anything else, gentlemen?
I've loaded up a picture that I took of my snark build,
I see that.
conveniently with the screen showing the two of you on it
Yeah,
in
there we
the
go.
background,
Look at
just
that.
for
Look at that.
validation. There it is.
Validation. There it is.
It's
Exactly.
like having a newspaper photograph for the newspaper front page when you have a kidnap victim or something.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You know. Okay, so once again, we're also sponsored by Return to Kit Form. Brett and Chrissy's. Check out their website at return2kitform.com. Amazing stuff there, including Macross stuff for your Valkyries and Macross stuff, canopy mask stuff. I actually, Chris was nice enough a year or so ago to give me some samples of his canopy mask, and I was actually able to give one to Frank because, as we know, Frank's working on a Gundam.
Yep, yeah.
Or not a Gundam, he's working on a Valkyrie. But anyway, check them out. Some really cool stuff. For more modeling podcast goodness, check out the other modeling podcasts at modelpodcast.com. Check those out as well. By the time you hear this on Tuesday, I'm dropping a special episode. I did a little roundtable late last year with some of the other podcasters, and we just kind of sat down and, you know, shot the shit, mostly about how we approach producing our podcasts and how long it takes. So that'll come out tomorrow as we're recording this, but you'll already have it by Saturday night. So enjoy that. It's not that long. Every podcast is doing it, so people will be swearing at us in no time because all the podcasters involved are releasing this. We thought it was just a lot of fun. Chris Meddings was nice enough to organize that and put that together. So, you know, so not only does he build good Musaru Cup stuff, he also comes up with stuff like this. But that's fine. I'll forgive him. Yeah. All right. Positive reviews. Always. We love that. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, home of the best podcast notes, show notes of any scale model podcast. We've been told that several times. Award winning. I'm still waiting for the award though. But anyway.
I know. Show up.
Yep. So scalemodelpodcast.com. We also have merchandise available through our friends at Redbubble. So definitely check them all out. So unless there's nothing else, on behalf of, for episode 133 of the Scale Model Podcast, my name is Stuart Clark.
I'm Jeff Highland.
I'm Terry Measley, reminding you to show us your bench.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, well done. Well done. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you and be well.